That Drake is Hamza video we did, it didn't age well.
So we looking kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, man. Like we was really gassing Drakus, and it was what we saw was a bit sad because you would have thought he never grappled a day in his life.
Yo, the
Like
whole fight, I'm like this. Evil. Damn, man.
it was just complete domination, man. It was just, bro. It took him 8 seconds in the first round to get a takedown, and then he kept him down the whole round, and then every round after that, he got a takedown in under 30 seconds. And that was just the rest of the round. That was every round. And you can call it a boring fight. That's irrelevant. What I saw was a scary, scary guy. 5 round cardio, Hamza. Ain't nobody beating him right now.
Well, all right, let's be fair. So this is what I was thinking, right? When you watch the fight with Gilbert versus Hamza, when you watch the fight with Kamaru Usman versus Hamza, the common denominator was there was pushback. There was
There
resistance.
was. But
So
there's
when you watch the fight with Gilbert, he didn't just lay down. He gave Hamza a hell of a hard time on the ground. Gilbert is a crazy grappler. When you watch the fight with Usman versus Hamza, he didn't just, the first round he got taken down easily, but the second round, he put up a really hard time to Hamza. He didn't allow him to take him down. These people gave him resistance, which caused him to work harder, which caused him to gas sooner in this fight. When you don't have any resistance, you don't get tired.
Yeah, but my pushback to that is if you have bad cardio, you have bad cardio. Look at Conor McGregor. It's a difference. He's striking, he's not grappling,
Yeah.
but striking takes less energy, especially Conor's style of striking, where he's on the outside. It takes less energy to do that, and he would still get tired because he had bad cardio, right? So I feel when you have bad cardio, you have bad cardio regardless. So even if there's not much of a resistance, you're gonna get tired eventually, no matter what. That's what I feel.
I get what you mean, man, but you're a fighter. You should know this. Like when things are going your way, your
Yes,
cardio lasts at least 2 to 3 times longer. Like,
yes,
all right, let's say give me 10 bums to spar with. I could spar 10 rounds. Easy.
Yeah.
Because it's easy work.
yes. But again, I feel that you're making valid points, but I feel there was definitely the build up to this fight. There was a lot of talk about Hamzat's the changes that he's made in his conditioning, in his training, right?
Yeah.
He went to the same guy that worked with Aaron Pico, who has an insane gas tank. He went with the same guy who worked with TJ Dillashaw, who has an insane gas tank, right? He worked with this guy who I can't remember his name, but he was a former wrestler, collegiate wrestler. He went to college for sports science. And then, when he stopped wrestling, he dedicated his life to, what he went to college for. He's been working with fighters to get them, get their cardiovascular on point, right? So all these guys that work with them have insane gas tanks. Hamza started working with him. So we have to take some consideration into that.
He has a better gas tank. I'm not arguing that, but
to go 5 rounds, regardless if there's no resistance,
it was
5 rounds.
Though, like I'm not jumping on the hype train, because look, in that 5th round, DDP's energy was better than Hamzat's. In the 5th round, he's the one that got beat up the whole time. How is that the case? How do you win the whole time and have an easy fight the whole time? In the 5th round, you're the one that starts melting. It's like the same story every single time. If there was more rounds, they would have won. Mm-hmm. And I know,
but I didn't.
In that 5th round, if that fight kept going, DDP was going to start beating him up. He had the better energy in the 5th round. He was hitting the combinations. He won that round. He almost choked him out at the end. He had better energy at the end. So the problem is that there was not enough resistance soon enough. DDP still has better gas tank. DDP just doesn't have the skill set. He didn't have the skill set to deal with what Hamzat was bringing to him. Hamzat's speed, he was like 3 times faster than DDP. DDP was in slow motion while Hamzat was spinning circles around him.
But let me say this though. And listen, bro, I want to be with you on this, man, because I was fighting for Drake just as much as you did. We had a whole video. We was gassing him up. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I mean, we got to.
I'm not buying it, man.
But I will say that neither of us expected this to happen, right? Drake is so unorthodox. He's so physically strong, right? And he's visually the bigger guy, right?
Which played against him.
Yeah, but like what he did, regardless of, the details, which they matter, but at the end of the day, he dominated him for 5 rounds,
It was
controlled
bad.
them.
It was
And
bad.
that was embarrassing to see, bro. I'm just like,
It was
I'm
real.
sitting there and I'm just.
It was 10-8, 10-8. I think the first 3 rounds were 10-8, if I'm not mistaken. Like
They
the
should have been.
3 rounds were 10-8.
It was, bro.
Bad.
Got a
Look.
takedown and then got the crucifix in basically every round easily. It was sad,
It was
bro.
bad. Like DDP's I think the problem that I'm having here, what bothers me is that DDP doesn't have the wrestling of Kamaru Usman, and he doesn't have the grappling of Gilbert. So like on both fronts, he didn't have what they had, and then he had a bigger size to him, which made him even slower. It's like he never grappled in this. All right, let me not say all that. DDP obviously knows what he's doing because he didn't get submitted, but he's not crafty enough. He has just enough to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? Like crawl to the gate, protect his neck. He's still alive.
Yeah.
But the problem that I'm having is like, let's say if that was, for example, if that was Robert Whitaker, that second, third, fourth, and fifth round starts to look a lot different because he's more savvy. So he can start changing the fight. DDP is so far behind in the grappling that he was never able to actually start turning the fight around. He had nothing going for him. And then his takedown defense was just, wow.
Yeah.
But so slow.
I want to ask you this. Based on the available opponents that are potentially next for Hamzat, right? That's Kyle. I think Kyle's an easy matchup. I think Hamzat takes him down and just controls him. We have Fluffy Hernandez, and then we have the Ritter. Out of those three, and Imavov. But I think Imavov is not known. He's Dagestani, but he's not known for his grappling. He's a striker. So I think that's another easy matchup for Hamzat. Kyle and Imavov, I feel, are easy matchups. So let's focus on the Ritter, and let's focus on Fluffy Hernandez, who both possess well-rounded skill sets, Fluffy being the more well-rounded out of the two. Who do you think out of those two gives him potentially a difficult matchup?
So before I answer that, I just want to make sure I don't want people to think that I'm like pooping all over my man DDP. I think DDP is a great fighter. I just think stylistically he didn't bring anything to the table that could stand up to Hamzat right now. But I think DDP has the heart of a lion, and he was trying his best. He just lacks a damn skill set. It hurts me. It hurts my heart that he went out there and lost that way.
We
gotta pour one out for the homie. But yeah, I think the Ritter's a good grappler, but his style is more of a jiu-jitsu style. He's kind of slow. He's big. I don't see him really being able to mess with Hamzat, even though he does have he's a great grappler, but he can sub Hamzat, and maybe he can catch Hamzat with a choke or something like that. But besides that, positionally, I think he gets washed too, positionally. But he's going to do a lot better than DDP did, so maybe he can come back in that 4th and that 5th round and start to put in some work. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe start throwing those knees. I think he can make it a lot more interesting than DDP can because he offers more of a threat on the ground, which gives him more of a shot to stand up. But who's to say Hamzat doesn't go in there and just punch him right in his face and just beat him up on the feet? Because that's the kind of fight where he probably would feel a little bit more confident on the feet.
Yeah.
But that's a much funner fight. And that's the only fight that I personally see right now that even makes any sense that could even, I don't think he wins either, but there really isn't anybody that I really see messing with Hamzat right now, honestly.
I feel the same, man. That what we saw Saturday, and then we look at the landscape of the middleweight division and how their grappling matches up with Hamzat. I think Hamzat is going to be unbeatable for the foreseeable future.
The bigger you get, the worse the grappling, the worse the wrestling. The bigger you get, those people at those weight classes, you rarely see good wrestlers and grapplers. It's not that common. So for him right now, the only one that would have been able to beat him would have been Johnny Bones Jones if he moved up to light heavyweight back in the day. That would have been the only one that would have been able to wash him right now. He even said he might go down to fight Islam. He said if Islam wins, that's a tall task. I don't think Islam's going to win. I don't think he's going to beat Jack. But
yeah, I think Hamzat's too big for Islam. And
he puts up a way better fight, though, against Hamzat than DDP did, though.
Well, I mean, I think most
not going to just lay it out like that.
I think most people do.
I mean, that goes without saying. He's not going to go out like that. Like
Ilya going to put up a better fight than him. Ilya going to put up a better fight than him.
Ilya putting up a way better fight. What? I think Islam would get, whooped for those first two. Nah, his gas is not the best either. Hamzat probably just beats him on. Yeah, ain't nobody really messing with my man right now. So what about Fluffy Hernandez? What do you think about him versus Hamzat?
I think Hamza beats him, but honestly, I think Fluffy is the dark horse of the division. He's the guy similar to how the next fight we're going to talk about Leron Murphy. But I feel like he's the dark horse of the division. He's no one's really paying too much attention to him, right? In comparison to the other three guys. But I think he's very dangerous. He's well-rounded. Every time he's countered out, you know what I'm saying, he proves us wrong. But it's not going to happen in the Hamza fight. He's not going to prove us wrong. But I think Fluffy potentially puts up a better fight than Imavov and than Kyle, and possibly more than RDR.
More than DeRitter. So what do you think about the DeRitter fight? You thought the same thing I was saying, basically?
I see the same thing. I don't see DeRitter beating him. I think Hamza's top control is insane, bro. He's literally like stuck to you like glue, bro.
And he's
yeah, man. Drake was saying that it wasn't even a strength deficiency. It was just he knew every move I was gonna make before I made it, and he was stuck to me like glue. Like there was never space.
When I lost to Denny Sabatello, it was the same type of vibe. Just all over me. Like, you didn't let me get up. It's like every move I made, he did. Like, his training camp is like, yo, you get down and you try to get up, and I'm going to try to hold you down. Like, that's their whole camp. It's them just trying to take top control and riding you and just grinding you the whole time. Like,
that should make you not want to. That should make you not want to do MMA no more. I'm like, I'm about to just go to kickboxing. I'm not trying to do all that.
I know exactly how DDP felt, because it's almost like by the end of the fight, you're not even tired because you didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
All I did was I didn't get a chance to do anything. Like, were you tired? No, I didn't do shit. He just didn't even let me move. Yeah, man, it sucks, man. But that just means you have to go back and figure out what are better get-ups. The worst thing about him, though, is like he couldn't get up from his back. He couldn't get up if he turned around. No matter where he went, he couldn't get up.
I don't think that there's anything that Drake can do at this point to make anything different in a rematch.
No, they're adults. They're grown adults. This is stuff that has to be changed when you're like a teenager, when you're growing up. You can't just go from camp to camp and make a difference. This takes years. And
that's what I'm saying.
He's finished. He'll never
be
a
wrap. He's not getting that gold again. But let's talk about the co-main event now, right? We got Lerone Murphy